Langston, and we are on the Racing Realtor Takes podcast show. And she's a former realtor, badass. Like, I can't say enough about this lady. Like, I have admired you for a long, long time. One of our mutual friends, David Dustman, has told me, he's like, dude, just reach out to her. Like, she's super nice. And I just never did, right?
Yeah.
Just because my personality is one, like, I don't necessarily recruit people. And if you're part of my life, it's because you want to be a part of my life, right? Like, I'm not one of them people that's like, hey, come kick it with me.
But you should recruit.
And I really should.
Yeah.
Because like, I've seen you grow, and it's been amazing. Like, I've been in the business since 2017. And I see the things that you've done. I see the things that you've built a huge empire, right? Like, you have people that just follow you, and you have the haters, and that's okay, because I got them too. And I mean, it happens. Like, I do the racing, so I get the haters that, Gabe's car is this, and then get out of here, like, kick rocks. So I wanted to bring you on this show because I want to know, like, everyone always says, hey, what's your secret sauce? There is no secret sauce, right?
No,
what
there
is
isn't.
It? It's
there
relationships.
Isn't. Yes, it's, oh my God, all relationships. And as I was growing everything, it was very hard to ever be hands off. I couldn't do it because your clients are so important. And then the referrals, everything, it's like, God, you cherish them, you take care of them. Like, you got to love your people.
You have to. It's all about the people, and especially in this business. Me and you kind of talked about it before, is the fact that, I'm not a lead generator. I'm not a lead user. If you buy leads and you continue to buy leads, and that's what you're passing out to your people, if you stop, your business stops, right? Because they didn't learn the relationship part of it.
Right. And when you refer to your clients and your friends, your people, your customers, if you refer to them as leads, that's what they are. They don't share anything. You don't know about them. If you're calling them a lead and not, oh, this is Mr. So-and-so or Mrs. So-and-so, or,
it doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
Like,
you don't build.
No,
you don't grow.
No. And I love the fact that you were just at my most recent event, but you got to see what I do and why I do it. Right?
It was amazing.
Like, there's so many people, and it ranges from everything, right? I mean, you got kids that, quote, I don't say kids, but I mean, they're younger, right? That are here, but they're a part of it. They're a part of what I'm building. They're a part of the relationships that I want. And when you come, you're just welcomed.
Yes. I mean, I walked right up and everybody was like, hey, I brought my kids, and it was, oh my God, we had the best time here.
It's so fun, but I really wanted to bring you on because I know that you are similar to me. You just hustle, right? That's how you built your business. Just curious, how many houses did you sell last year?
Last year, 180 houses last year.
I did like 50.
But I did have, I had a team, so it wasn't just me. But we did, we hustled pretty hard. Yeah.
But you're not afraid to work. You're not afraid to go knock on the for sale by owners.
No.
You're not but even when you're doing that, right? You're walking in there to help them.
Yes, it's not how do I make money? It's how can I alleviate some of this? Like, it's buying and selling a house is so stressful. Like, you think about how much goes into that, and just their money. God, it's all their money. Mm-hmm. And so I don't take it lightly. You go and knock on their door. It's like, what can I take off of you? And I'm not going to call you. I'm not going to be another person calling you. I'm going to go up and show up. I might have my kids. I might have my husband. I might have, my team. Like, when I first started off, that's exactly how I started, was door knocking and cold calling. Like, that's how you grow. So
it's called work. It's called,
and it wasn't cold calling to sell. It wasn't knocking on your door to sell your home. It was, what can I do to help? Like, please let me help. Let me learn.
You were literally pounding the pavement.
I was, because you're not going to learn anything. I mean, you hear people who say, oh, I know my worth. I know my worth. The commission's my worth. Blah, blah. It is not.
Almost, I bet you if we was to ask 90% of the realtors, what is it that you provide to a client?
I have a whole list.
Right. Like, we do.
Yeah.
But could they explain that to them?
Oh,
could they explain their value to the clients?
I don't know. I mean, I would hope so.
Yeah. So I was watching something the other day, and they were talking about in real estate, you have now, you're really going to have 3 contracts, right?
Yeah.
You're going to have a listing contract.
Yeah.
You're going to have a buyer contract. And now you have a purchase contract.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So as a listing agent, you have a listing presentation.
Right.
Right. Can they do that with a buyer's representation? I can.
I mean, I would have.
Right.
And I would have explained exactly like you do when you are going to, you're pitching yourself to the seller. Like, hey, you're going to have to do the same thing for buyers now.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
And it's not going to be easy anymore.
No,
well, I didn't think it was easy anyway. I should say it's not going to be simple anymore. Like it was much simpler. And now I think they're just making it a little more complex.
I think they're making it a little bit more complex, which is fine, but I think it's more of it's being more detailed, right? It's being more detailed and explaining exactly what we do and what we've done, right? It's like, hey, what's in paragraph 13 of page 4, whatever it is, right? Can you explain that without looking at it?
Yeah.
Do you know it without looking at it? That's the thing that realtors miss, right? Because they think of just the number. They think it's money. It's not money, right? Mm-hmm. Like you built a business, and I know that you've done some work for just David Dustman.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah.
I know what you did for him. How many times have we done that for our clients?
Oh my God. I can't tell you how many. There were a ton. There were tons, but
because it wasn't about the dollar.
No, but it's nothing is for free. That is your marketing too. So everything's a referral. Everything comes back around.
Absolutely.
The more good you put out, it always comes back. I'm a huge believer of karma. I think that when I sold David's house, that came back around in a big way for me. Yes.
Threefold.
Yes.
And that's comes back to why I did this podcast, is because when I left one of my old brokerages, I was told that networking doesn't work, that I wouldn't make money.
Yeah.
I do pretty well for myself.
Yeah, you do amazing. And I mean, after seeing your party, I was like, holy crap, this guy's like amazing. And and you're not even hitting it as hard as you could. Like and that was that good. I thought that was amazing.
No. And I mean, at that event, we probably at the highest point, we probably between 40 to 50 people, right. I'm guessing, this was packed, that was packed out there.
Yeah. Well, I was also told in the beginning when I first got into this industry, my very first brokerage, one of my clients was buying a $20,000 house. And my broker said, don't waste your time on it. It's nothing. You're not even going to get a paycheck really. Like, just let it go. But I'm like, okay, even if I got $200, it's $200.
It's $200.
But they needed a home.
Yep.
And you know what I got? I got a referral, and it was a substantial referral from that.
Yep.
And I ended up selling later. I sold her uncle a house, his child. I sold her mother and her sister homes. Like, all of that, like just from selling her a $20,000 house. It was like, why would you not help them? Because
people look at the money, right? They look at, oh, hey, what are you buying? Right? It's only 100,000. They ignore those people.
Yeah.
There's tons of realtors that ignore them, and so today I literally drove to, where'd I go? Noble. I went to Noble, Oklahoma for $87,000 house.
Yeah.
They're making an offer.
Love it. That's great.
Would I buy it? Probably not. But they needed it.
Yeah.
They need it. And it's in their price point, right? Why not? Because you never know what those people are going to do later. Right? What if they fix that house up? I mean, you fix up that house, you're probably $200,000 house.
Yeah.
Right.
That's awesome.
That's huge. Huge.
And think of the equity you made them. Like,
yep.
That is amazing. Like, that's worth it to me.
Mm-hmm.
I just got you a ton of money. Like, way to go. Like, that's awesome.
It's literally sitting on like 1.5 acres. It's 1,700 square foot house.
Dang, that's a good deal.
I mean, it's rough. It's rough. It needs some work. But it's crazy because a lot of people won't even touch it, right? Yeah. They won't even go show it. They're like, oh, you can't get it or whatever. This was a sign call. Literally a sign call.
That's so cool. And you have a whole remodeling company too, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's even. Yeah. Oh my God, even better.
Yep. So cool. I help.
You help some people, and you help people in so many ways.
So, but I think that's the biggest thing is what do you think that we can do as realtors that you took and built your business? What can we do to help ourselves? Because there's so many of us that have watched that don't know, right?
You can't have limits. Like people who stay in their own town and you don't go and drive around. You go where the work is. You go where the people have a need, and you never know who you're going to end up
tomorrow.
It's a drive. That's a drive. But you go where people need you, and everybody has connections all over. So one deal ends up being 3 deals, 4 deals, 5 deals. Like it's all about connecting. It's take care of them. They're your friends. Take care of them. You take care of your friends.
Oh,
and you don't worry about the paycheck. I always say that money's a byproduct of being a good person.
You can't, and I tell this so many times, is don't look at the number. Don't look at the paycheck. And I told you, and I hate to even admit it, but I've missed, I don't know how many closings because I've been busy showing other houses, or I'm helping someone, remodel a house or whatever it is.
Right.
The closing part, that's the easy.
Right. That's
easy
the
thing.
end.
I try and help the client afterwards or whatever, because that's where it really means something, right? Is when you come back and touch those people again. Yes. It's not just, hey,
that's what I always hated about real estate. As soon as it's over, and we're so busy, it's hard to go and visit them and see them a lot.
Right.
So, that's what I hated, is when it's over, it's done. I helped you, and then I don't get to see you as often. So I did try to stay, if they needed me, I'm still on top of it. If they needed anything, because they're still my friends. And now that I'm not in real estate, I'm loving it, because now I can actually see all these people that
I have hang out.
Yeah, I know I can finally hang out with you. But you can see all these people that I made all these connections with, and I truly love them. And I loved them during our transaction, and we had this great bond. And then now I haven't seen them since. So I'm so excited. I'm catching up with so many people, and it's amazing.
And that's literally why I do these events, right? Is because it's nothing about selling. It's purely, hey, I appreciate you. I appreciate you being a client. Just come have fun. Come have some drinks, have some food,
realtors
whatever.
Were here from different brokerages, and nobody was recruiting. There were lenders here I didn't even know. There was a title lady, sweet as can be. All these people, and not anybody was recruiting anybody. We're all just here having the best time. Oh my God, it was so great.
And that's my big thing about it. And it is what it is, but I do the CE classes, and I do the same thing. Is you're not allowed to recruit. If you come to my class, you're not allowed to recruit people. This is purely education, and that's it. But I fill this place up. I fill it up between 12 to 15 different agents from other brokerages that just come and want to discuss it, right? Because we might have a transaction together that, hey, let's tell me what you're thinking. This is what I'm thinking, right? Because everybody has a different view. So I really do. I think that that's a big part of it. But I think a lot of realtors now just have lost or don't understand the relationship or the networking side of it.
Or they're too business. I meet a lot of people, a lot of agents, a lot of brokers. I've actually told people, people have told me, their clients don't build a relationship with them. I'm like, whatever, man. I had a client move in with me. Are you kidding me?
I don't know that I'm going that far.
They were relocating, and there was, there was a delay in the closing, and they stayed with me for 2 weeks until their house was ready. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. And they were relocating from Texas. So they stayed with us, and we loved it. We had the best time, and I got to hang out with them all the time. And man, they're like family.
Right. Yeah. And I'm sure that built a very strong bond,
Yeah.
And I tell people all the time about myself is I'm a horrible business person. Horrible. Right. Because if I don't like you, I'm not going to do business with you.
Right.
I'm just not.
Well, in the beginning, I know I learned that as I went, because in the beginning I wanted to help everybody. I didn't turn anybody away. In fact, I can probably count on maybe one hand, maybe two, how many people I fired in 4.5 years. I'm a sucker. I love everybody. I want to love everybody. I want to take care of everybody. I'm momming everybody. I'm just a sucker. If I can help, I'm going to help. I don't care. I have a hard time turning anybody away.
No, I don't. I'm like, no, we're not a good fit. I'm good.
I know you're much smarter than I am. There were a couple of people that I had to learn the hard way. I'm like, man, that person's really litigious. If I'm not on the straight and narrow and they up and up, and it's hard because I'm not professional. I am not a salesperson. I am
No.
me, and I just want to love you, and hopefully you let me.
Right.
Like,
No, and there's nothing wrong with that, and you've done extremely well for yourself, you know.
you.
But I do, like I say, I think I really wanted you on here because of the fact that you built something that was absolutely amazing.
Thanks.
And
it was my heart. Like, it really was. It was my blood, sweat, and tears. It was my time away from my family. It meant everything to me. And I took it very personal. At the end of the day, they were my family. That was my family. And
nothing wrong with that.
A lot of them still are. And,
absolutely. And they're still, I promise you, they're still going to reach out to you for whatever it is.
I know.
And they're probably reaching out to you even harder, you know, because of whatever.
Yes.
So you're getting away from us, but you're still going to be around.
Yeah, I'm not getting away. I'm not,
yeah.
you know,
no.
I have a whole bunch of friends, and I made a ton on my way out. So a ton of agents.
You probably met more people that were watching you and just wanting to be a part of your life and seeing it, you know. And like I say, I've told everyone, I'm not a recruiter. I just don't go after people.
I know, but there's a lot of people that need you. There's a lot.
And I have done a video. I'm like, hey, if you want to come talk to me, come talk to me. Because I am that like, I'm super easy to talk to. I think I am, at least. You know, it's like, hey, if you want to come talk to me, great. And if we work, cool. If not, you're not hurting my feelings, you know, just because I do want to help. I want to help agents. I want to help people grow their business. And real estate's not easy, you know.
No. Oh my gosh, no.
Real estate's not easy. And it's kind of funny because I seen a post. It's one of the real estate mastermind thingies, and they're talking about, hey, stop posting, you know, pictures of you with your feet up saying you're writing offers and, you know, just making it look easy, right? I mean, that's why you have so many realtors that get into the business. It's because they're like, it's so easy. I can do that. Yeah.
My favorite is I love that I can make my own schedule.
Yeah. No, that's not happening.
Yeah. You don't make your own schedule in this job. No, it is. You have a boss, and your boss is your client.
You know, and that's one of the reasons why I got the office, the space that I have now, is because I couldn't work from home because there's too many distractions.
Right.
You know, you're not going to get the things done. At least I couldn't get the things done that I needed to do.
Right.
I had to get away. And that's why I leave my house every day at the same time. And I go do something.
Yes.
There's always something you can do. And if you want to prospect or you want to grow your business, you've got to treat this job just like a 9-to-5 job at minimum.
Yes.
At minimum.
Oh gosh. I mean,
just to be able to be somewhat successful.
And you have to give it. I mean, it's building your name. It's building your business. So you have to give it a good solid year or two of just hard work. Mm-hmm. But you think about what you can build if you just give it your all in 2 years. Like, you can pull back. You can actually enjoy, you know, what you built, like your networking. You can sit back and watch it grow now. Like, it's a couple
if you do it right.
Yeah, if
absolutely.
you do it right. It's seeing the forest through the trees. You know, it's definitely longevity. Like, you're not building for right now.
Right.
You don't, you know, you
have to look for tomorrow.
Right. Your clients that might not be ready now, they'll be ready in a year or two, 3 years, 4 years. There were clients that David and I worked on for 1.5 years, and they bought their first house, and it was amazing to be able to give them the keys to their house.
I've had those clients. I had one client that literally looked at 187 houses before they bought.
I've done that too.
You know, so it's kind of
you feel like you're spinning your wheels, but you're really not.
You're really not. You got to find what fits for them,
and it's for a reason. Like,
yeah. So, you know, and that's what people don't understand is we do so much that we don't get paid for until
it closes.
Right. You know, that could be 6 months. That could be a year.
That's why you have to,
2 years.
You have to network hard. You have to build that sphere, but it has to be organic, and it has to be with your heart. Like, you have to do it for the right reasons. Otherwise, they're just leads. They're not people.
And they won't come back.
And they don't come back.
And they don't come back. And that's why you're still spending money to buy leads.
Right.
Because you don't have that repetitive business coming back.
Right.
And you didn't treat it correctly. In my opinion, you did not treat it correctly.
Right. And And that also goes into like, man, Zillow's hard. Like Zillow is hard, but you also have to learn how to convert. So if you're getting those leads, you still have to know what to do with them when you get them. Otherwise, somebody else will take them. They're just leads. Cause what good is leads if you don't know how to convert them?
No. And I think that's the big thing about it is, in me coming from the car business, I understand, those leads go out to tons of people.
They do.
Tons of people. And if you're not the first,
right?
If you're not the first to catch them and you're not the one that piques their interest, they're done. You're going to lose somebody, so it's being able to talk to people. And that really goes back to, how do you connect with them? How do you connect with those people, and how do you get them to stay with you? Right.
Well, how do you set yourself apart? Like, what do you know? What's your knowledge? Like, what are you good at? For me, I am great with money. I am in my personal life and for my clients. Like I'm good at that. And my husband is good at that. Like that's what we did. So how can we save you money? How can we make you money? Like that's what we care about. And
that's hard. And there's not very many people that can do that.
I know. I found out. I thought that I thought that there were more people like me, but there apparently is not.
No. No, not at all. Not at all. So yes. So what are you doing now? What is it that you're doing that you're always happy and dressed up? Like this girl posts like fancy suits. I'm like, girl, like, man, her husband's probably like, you're not leaving the house.
He loves it. I thought the suit thing, it was an adjustment, but I am a financial advisor now. Instead of making my clients money, I make everybody money. I'm really great at it so far. So
hey, as long as you like it, that's okay.
It's a lot of training, man. It's a lot. It's like, I'm an information overload, but I love it. I'm so much happier.
And that's a whole different world.
It is
completely opposite of us. Because over here we like to spend money. You're like, hey.
Well, let me tell you where to put it. Let me tell you where to put it. Let me at least protect you.
I'm like, no. Let's go spend that money.
And it's all custom, to each person and what
everybody's different.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Everybody's
and everybody has a different aspect of different philosophy even with their money. So it's good.
What does your husband do?
He's a geologist.
Oh, what?
I know.
See, I'm not one of them smart people. I have my good enough diploma. I'm
good. He's my smarty pants. 2 master's degrees. He's
what?
Yes.
Jesus.
Oh, he nerds it out. Like he's great.
Nice. Okay. What about your kids? How are your kids? I know you're telling me 26 to 26 2 months.
2 months. Oh my God. Yeah. 26 to 2.5. So there's a bunch of them.
Jesus.
Love them. They're awesome.
What does your 26-year-old do?
So he works for a car detailing company. So he has a mobile car detailing business. I'm like stumbling over myself. Yeah, but he's amazing. And then I have one in the military. He's married. He's actually moving back at the end of the year. David's going to be helping him with the house. So
nice.
Nice. Yeah, and then I have 2 in college. I mean, I have so many. I could just go on and on. That's a whole nother podcast. And then I have the 2.5-year-old. So they're all older, and then there's the baby, which you met him, little turd, but he's so cute.
Yeah. No, I don't want to.
He had a blast here, and he kept stealing all the bean bags from the cornhole. Like he's stuffing them in his pockets. He's like, mine. But
that's okay. I know I lost.
Yeah. Well, that might have been those Jello shots. I don't know.
It was probably the Jello shots or the margarita machine.
Yeah, margarita machine. That was that really did it for us.
Yeah, that thing got drained.
Yeah, I'm sure it
drained.
did. That thing was good.
I told you, it's dangerous.
It was so dangerous.
So dangerous. Yeah, that's what I say. Nope. I did not drive. I got a ride home. I had to come pick up the truck the next day. Yeah. So yeah, no.
But I will say that none of my kids want to be a realtor now.
It's not easy. It really isn't.
No, and they watched hard. They watched the long nights and the crying or stressing. I mean, like the late night phone calls the night before closing, people like panicking and like,
oh yeah, because not every deal goes through.
No, not every deal goes well. Oh my gosh. Let's talk about that for a second. Holy crap. Let's talk about how many times something bad happened. I had a seller pass away the night before closing on one of my deals.
I actually had one do the same thing. It was partners, and one of them died.
Yeah.
And we still had to get it done. The people that were trying to move in, like, literally had the moving truck at the house.
Yeah, I had that.
Like,
You
fixing
got
to
yours
move in.
finished.
Oh yeah, I got mine finished.
I did
thank
not.
God.
Mine busted. Like the house went through probate. It was ugly. We did not get to close on that. That one busted, and I had to go and put them back through the whole process to find another house. Oh my God.
So tell me about this carjacking that happened.
Oh my God. Okay. So that was a fun day. So it was last year. There was like some snowstorm or something. I don't even really recall the details, but I know the road, it was cold outside. There was still snow on the ground, but the ground was all muddy. And we had to swap cars. And at this time, we only had 2 cars. We had the SUV and my husband's. It's a nice car, but I will never drive it again. It's a Mercedes. I'll never drive that sucker again. And
she got it stolen.
I did. So I had to swap him cars. I'll never drive it again. So I had to swap cars. He had to take the baby to daycare. I had to drive his car. I had showings in Hera and in the subdivision that I was selling. And sweetest buyer, which I did end up selling her a house, but she wanted to see another house that was on a dirt road, but they don't, you don't know when you're GPSing where the freaking roads are. So I'm like, sure, I'll show you this other house. And I scheduled it, whatever, got it all set up. And then we're driving to the house. She's gone. She takes off. She's in her truck and whatever, but I'm sliding all over this dirt road in the middle of nowhere. I have no service. And the dirt road's like long and there's no houses anywhere. It's like literally the middle of nowhere. And it's cold and snowy and my car freaking slides off and gets stuck. I can't get it out. And I'm like, oh my God. So I get out of the car and I'm like, I don't even know how to push this thing out. Like, and at the time, I'm like kind of dressed up. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to be covered in mud before my showing. Anyway, this truck, oh my God, this truck pulls up. It's a couple of young guys and they're like, oh, are you stuck? I'm like super annoyed. So I'm like, yeah. And he's like,
with the eye roll.
Yeah, it was bad. And they're like, we can push you out. I'm like, oh, okay. Thank you. Anyway, another eye roll. So one gets in behind the steering wheel. The other guy's pushing it out. I have open house signs galore in my car. There's nowhere for me to sit inside the car. And this back seat's like this big and there's tons of crap everywhere. My purse is there. Oh my God, my laptop, everything. Oh my God, my whole life is there. And one guy's pushing me out. The other guy's like trying to get me out or whatever. And they get it out. Well, then the guy just takes off.
Just kept driving.
I'm standing there like, and I've been trying to text and, I'm in the middle of nowhere and I have no service. So none of my texts are going through. And I'm like, oh my God, he gets in his truck and just drives off. So I'm like, literally, while I still have the
just
dumb
watch
down
the Mercedes pull away.
And he's sliding all over the place, still in my Mercedes, like just swerving all over. And I'm like, oh my God, like what do I do? Anyway, and I'll be danged if Angel next truck comes up and out of nowhere, another truck pulls up. And I'm like, okay, this is where I die today. Like, this is it. This is where I'm dying. And he rolls down his window and he's like, did that guy just take your car? And I said, yeah. And I'm standing there with my cell phone in my hand, like, yeah. And he's like, well, get in, let's go get your car. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna die. So I get in his car and yeah, he goes right after the car. He like cuts him off in front and the other truck's long gone. Like there, yeah. My car's still sliding all over. And he like gets in front of the car and he's like, get out. And like goes and knocks on the door and gets that guy out and he's screaming at him. I don't even know what happened to that guy afterward. But I got in my car and I drove off, went to my showing and I'm
went and sold the house.
Yeah, I know. And I did. But my husband's getting all these texts later and I'm in the showing and he's like freaking out because he's like, car got hijacked. Like,
oh, don't worry about it.
My team, I'm texting the team like, oh my God, I have Miguel on my team and he's like freaking out. My phone's blowing up. Like, oh my God, do we need to go kill somebody? Like, I don't even know who the guy was that helped me. Like, I never even got his information.
Got his name,
if you
nothing.
hear this, thank you. I still love you. Thank you for not killing me. But crazy stuff, man. I've had a lot.
That's That's hilarious. Like David actually was kind of telling
yeah, because I called David and I was like, because David's one of my really great friends, but I called him and I was like, you'll never believe what happened. He goes, we're putting that in the book. Like he always said, we're going to write a book of all our stories. I have a whole
facts.
Yes,
we could
these are
definitely
real estate facts.
If we could just write a book, it would be like massive.
I know,
massive.
I'll tell you all of it.
Yes.
Good, bad, and ugly. But yeah, it was freaking hilarious. I mean, it is now. I think I had like PTSD for a couple days afterward. So I'm like laying in bed later that night. I'm like, that just happened to me today. Like,
yeah. Like, what do you do? Someone just pulls off.
It was really,
and
I know it's crazy, but it was all in a matter of like 15 minutes, maybe from the time it started. I mean, I'm like, how the hell does that happen? I go to my showing and my buyer was like, why is your car all muddy? I'm like, I got stuck in the mud
and almost got jacked.
I didn't tell her anything because I was like trying to still be professional somewhat and like just got my car freaking stolen. It's crazy. It was funny. David died. He was like, that did not happen. I'm like,
that's why you carry.
Yeah, I don't carry. I know I'm so stupid. I did all these showings. I can't even tell you how many showings I did, and I never carried.
What?
I know.
No.
Man,
there's too many crazy people in this world.
None of my clients were ever crazy. None of them. I got to talk to them all. You know, you kind of get a good vibe. And if I did have any issues, I'd just bring Kevin with me. I'd schedule him around.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not the
so
smallest
if I'm like,
of people.
I'm going to die. I'm not dying alone. I know.
I'm like, challenge accepted.
Kevin's like, I don't know why you're bringing me. I don't carry either. But
yeah, no, yeah, you just call me. I'm coming.
I know I had my girlfriends were like, we'll shoot him for you. But I'm like, I'm already dead. I'm probably already dead. Yeah, so it doesn't matter. But
yeah. No. So yeah. So how are we doing on time?
We are more than good.
Awesome.
Go. Cool.
Awesome. High five.
So thank you. So is there anything that you want to say that you would like to say to everyone that's watching?
If you have any questions, you can call me. I'm an open book. I'll give you everything. So that's pretty much it. I mean, no.
But I still, because I know so many people, I know people have called you and want to know,
oh God,
the secret sauce or the stuff that happens. But I will tell you from my perspective as a broker, but also as a friend, is the fact that it doesn't matter, right? It really doesn't matter. We've all done stupid shit. It happens.
Yes.
But the reason why we're successful at what we're doing is because we get up, we put our shoes on, and we go to work.
You know, and the mistakes aren't supposed to define you. They're lessons, you know, you learn from them and you pick yourself up and you just keep on trucking. And, you know, most should not hinder you. So
no. And I think that's a big part, is the fact that you just have to learn. You have to learn from
and
the
you
mistakes.
have to ask, you know, and I was very humble about it. I will say, like, when I was first starting out, and I would be like, I don't know anything. Like, I'm learning, I'm building my business. If you just give me an opportunity to learn, like, I'm not even worried about the commission. I have to learn how to do my job.
Right.
And the more honest and humble I was, the more people responded.
More people will work with you.
And they loved that, actually. And I got referrals based off that. And, you know, I might not have had all the knowledge in the beginning, but I customer service the heck out of those deals. Like, you got 100%. Like, I even had a running joke with my clients. Like, if it takes me more than an hour to get back to you, call the cops. There's something wrong. Like, I will get back to you within an hour. And I'm like quick about my text.
I'm that person. Like, just text me.
Right.
Like, please text me, because I'm always doing something.
Yes.
So that's the easiest way for me, is just text.
Yeah.
You know?
You're going to get a response. I don't care if
Right.
I'm in a showing. I don't care if I'm in a closing. I don't care what.
I'll text you back.
I'll text you right now and say, I will get right back to you.
Yep.
And yeah, nobody waited for me.
So yeah. But no, I truly do appreciate you coming. I appreciate you coming to the event this weekend.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun.
Oh, I'll be at more. Yeah, I loved it. So much fun.
It's a lot of fun, and that's what I want. I want people to see the value that brings.
Well, and just that you're a real person. You know, people want to be around real people, not a buttoned up version of you. You know,
no,
just be you.
And yeah, because You know, that's just me. I mean, I had a shirt on that said, I'm feeling lucky.
I know. I loved it.
Like, that's all you get from
Yeah.
me. Like, I just don't do it. I don't do the suit and tie.
Yeah.
It's not me. You know,
Oh, I didn't,
not
but I do
confident.
now.
Yeah.
Well, not the tie, but the suit all day.
Yeah, you pull it off great.
Thanks.
Like me, I'm
this
like
is new. Like this is new for me. I know. I was a yoga pants and a t-shirt kind of girl, but it was hard to dress up in our job. You know, go from showing houses to walking land.
right.
Like you're not going to dress up.
No.
And when you're running off 3 hours of sleep and a caffeine, you know, you're hooked up to coffee and, you know, energy drinks. Like you're not. The last thing you care about is, oh my God, did I wash my hair today? Like,
yeah. So, well, cool. Thank you very much. I
Thanks
very
for
much
having
appreciate
me
it. You're gonna have to
here.
come back on again.
Oh, I will.
So,
I will.
yeah. So
Yeah.
David was actually, he was like, man, we need to get another chair and a mic and just have all
Oh my
three of
gosh.
us. I think that'd be a lot
I
of
could
fun.
talk about all these deals I did with him and just how amazing he was for my business.
Oh,
Because,
yes.
and that's another thing too. Surround yourself with like-minded people. You know, you'll do so well if you have people with the same beliefs and the same ideas that you have. And yeah, and I'm only as good as the people I surrounded myself with. And David, he really knocked it out of the park for like well over, I think it was like over 270 of my clients. Like
That's awesome.
he really did an amazing job. So
yep.
yeah.
So cool. Well,
All
thank
right.
you very much.
Well,
I
thanks.
appreciate you. Adios.